Hello, welcome to the morning news. Our main story takes us to Guatemala. Millions of voters went to the polling stations despite calls against voting amid a political crisis that has the former president Otto Perez Molina and Vice President Roxana Baldetti in jail for alleged corruption. With almost 100% of the votes tallied, a presidential election runoff was more than certain. The comedian and actor Jimmy Morales was leading with just over 26% of the votes. According to predictions, he is likely to win the second round set for October the 25th. He was closely followed by Manuel Baldizon and Sandra Torres. Morales expressed satisfaction with the results.
I feel happy and committed. We hoped this was going to happen. The odds were low, but we never lost faith. We fought with strength and we are here today. The full count of the vote is still to come. We trust in the trends will continue as they've come in. After 40%, we think the trends can vary only a little.
In a climate of corruption and voter discontent, none of the candidates offer a clean break for Guatemala's embattled past of scandals and officials with ties to dictators and military officials accused of war crimes. Another issue is that the presidential hopefuls are in favor of maintaining close ties to the United States, mainly responsible for the tragic past and turbulent political present of Guatemala.
I totally agree with receiving support from the United States. I recognize that they have been our best ally in the history of the nation, and today more than ever I am convinced that we must strengthen the ties of a friendship and together to fight against corruption.
Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro issued a statement requesting dialogue with Colombia in order to resolve the current bilateral border dispute. Maduro spoke from Jamaica during his official trip to lead the bicentennial commemoration of the Jamaica Letter, one of the most important documents written by South American liberator Simón Bolívar. Nicolás Maduro went on to criticize Colombian media outlets for their role in escalating the conflict by promoting hateful messages.
Don't fear dialogue, President. It is only through dialogue that you and I can achieve a solution to these serious problems. I'm willing to sit down and hold talks with you wherever you want, when you want, and however you please. Don't evade me anymore. Show your face to this president who, despite being a regular laborer, a village man, he can sit down and talk with you. So, here you have me waiting on you, President Santos. So, don't keep on eluding a meeting, which is the only way to seek solutions for the problems at the border.
Experts from the OAS and International or Inter-American Commission for Human Rights have revealed their final report on the case of the 43 forcibly disappeared Ayotzinapa students. They assure the Mexican government version that they were burned to ashes simply never happened. They also said there is a third line authorities never even took into consideration, which would explain the violent nature of the attack. This would be linked to the fact that buses are used to smuggle drugs out of Guerrero toward the United States. On September 26, 4 buses were attacked. This could suggest that the Dragon Gang, United Warriors, was searching for buses with drugs on board from rival gangs. Trinidad and Tobago is holding elections this Monday as the ruling party and the opposition face a too-close-to-call race for the control of the Caribbean countries for a one-seat parliament. The two main groups contesting the elections are the ruling coalition led by Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, the United National Congress, and the People's National Movement, the country's oldest political organization, which has had several terms in government. The campaign has centered around a range of issues, from social policies to accusations of government corruption, including contracts to business linked to the UN's election campaign. The chief of staff of former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has been charged with corruption, money laundering, and racketeering in relation to the Petrobras scandal. José Dirceu, who worked for Lula between 2003 and 2005, was arrested on August 3rd. According to the prosecutors, who was responsible for the decision to appoint 2 ex-Petrobras executives involved in the scandal. They said Dirceu received over $3 million in bribes originating from Petrobras. Dirceu has become one of the most senior members of Brazil's ruling Workers' Party, targeted by prosecutors in the massive kickback Petrobras scandal. And now to our brief roundup of world news.
The United States, Japan, New Zealand, and Mexico joined forces off the coast of Southern California this week for a massive joint training exercise called Dawn Blitz. 12 ships from the US, Japan, and Mexico took part in the biennial exercise. Japanese and US amphibious units trained for landings on beaches in simulated storming and reclaiming of islands from the hands of an enemy. Around 1,100 Japanese military personnel were involved in the exercises. The US 3rd Fleet commander explains the objectives of the drills.
We've got LCACs on the beach behind us. We've got Marines who have come ashore in AAVs this morning. We've got ships out at sea. We've got our Japanese partners, our Mexican partners, our New Zealand partners all here with us, learning to work together, building those relationships, ensuring that we can do all of those missions that we're expected to do together around the world every day, maintaining peace and security here and everywhere around the world.
Chancellor Angela Merkel thanked helpers who dealt with an influx of exhausted migrants over the weekend, but stressed that the European response to the refugee crisis was urgently needed. But she also noted that the Dublin III agreement applies. They stipulate that refugees must file for asylum in the first EU country they arrive in. European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker is due to unveil new proposals that include adding 120,000 people to be relocated on top of a group of 40,000 the Commission previously proposed relocating. The mother of a Palestinian toddler killed in a July Israeli settler arson attack on a West Bank home has died. She is the 3rd victim of the attack after her husband died last month. Jewish settlers attacked and torched the home of a Palestinian family in the West Bank village of Duma July 31st. An 18-month-old child died about 10 days of the injuries he sustained. A relative of the family said that in spite of the death, he will continue fighting against the Israeli occupation in the West Bank. This is a message to the entire Israeli government, the military, the herds of settlers, and the intelligence. The blood of these martyrs will not discourage us. We are responsible in front of God, in front of our children, and in front of ourselves. We will not back away from liberating Palestine.
Serena Williams and her sister Venus are set to face off in the U.S. Open quarterfinals. The odds are stacked against Venus as Serena has won her 15th out 26 matches. Serena is now 3 games away from achieving the 4th women's calendar year Grand Slam after beating Madison Keys. Serena is seated #1, while Venus is 23rd. Serena said her sister is playing well though.
No, she's playing great. She had I barely had time to get ready for my match today because she played so fast. I was like, oh my gosh. I was actually hoping she'd lose a few games for the first time. But yeah, so I have to really be ready for that. I have to play like I did or better today. But at least one of us will be, a Williams will be in the semis, so that's good.
Serena Williams has won 21 Grand Slam singles in her career. And that's all. More on these on our website, telesurtv.net/English. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.